Okay, so are you ready to dive into some seriously cool, maybe even a little sci-fi medical tech today?
Absolutely. I'm all for exploring the world of, AI doctors and all that.
It's not even just robot surgeons anymore.
Right. We're talking AI that thinks like a doctor.
Diagnosing illnesses, and who knows, maybe changing healthcare
Well,
completely.
like a revolution in healthcare. Yeah.
And we're not just like speculating,
Yeah.
we're going deep into a brand new AI. It's called O1.
Okay.
So picture this.
Mm.
AI in healthcare. It's a blockbuster movie franchise, right?
Okay.
O1 is the sequel that everyone's talking about. Can it beat the original?
I like that. And the research we are looking at today, it does kind of read like one of those like sci-fi thrillers.
It does. So to set the scene, we've got this
Mhm.
cutting-edge AI O1 and the big question, can it really handle like how complicated medicine is? Because let's be real, diagnosing someone, figuring out treatment, that is way more than just like Googling what's wrong with you, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Well,
Medicine is like this puzzle, but it's got a million pieces. Every symptom, every test result, your whole medical history.
you got to make a decision, even when you don't have all the pieces.
Exactly. And that's what makes this O1 so fascinating. One of its best skills is it can reason.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
We're not talking AI that just memorizes medical textbooks, right?
Yeah.
This AI actually thinks like a doctor would when diagnosing.
You got it.
Yeah.
We've seen AI that can recognize patterns, but O1, they actually designed it to go way beyond that. Take all that medical info, could be a jumbled mess, and it reasons through it.
Now that is what I call a medical breakthrough. So how did O1 do when they put it to the test? Did it pass medical school, like with honors?
Let's just say it aced some exams that would make doctors sweat.
What? Give me the details.
Well, in the research, they talked about how O1 crushed this super difficult medical exam, Lancet QA. Think of it like the MCAT for medical AI.
A Lancet QA. Okay, so it's not messing around.
No, it's designed to test how good you are at clinical diagnosis. And O1 scored 81.5% accuracy.
Well, hold on. 81.5%.
Yeah, and to put that into perspective, it's like older sibling, GPT-4, only got like 61% on the same thing.
Okay, for those of us who don't speak AI, what is GPT-4?
So GPT-4, it's a really advanced language model.
Okay.
It's known for processing and generating text that sounds like, a human wrote it.
So like the older, more well-known sibling of O1.
You could say that. But even with all its skills, GPT-4 couldn't quite crack the code of Lancet QA the way O1 did.
Okay, so we're talking about a big difference in how well it can diagnose. 81.5%, that's basically an A in med school, right?
Pretty much. It's a huge step forward, showing O1 is working with some seriously advanced reasoning, at least for this specific challenge. It is impressive, but before we all go scheduling appointments with Dr. O1,
Right.
there's, the other side of it.
There's always a catch. What's the downside here?
Okay, so O1 might be a whiz kid when it comes to this stuff, but it
Yeah.
still has a lot to learn. The research, one thing they pointed out is that O1 can, get this, hallucinate information.
Hallucinate. You mean like make stuff up? That's not really what you're looking for in a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. It's like O1's brain, it's got so much medical knowledge in it that it just starts connecting dots that aren't even there. And this seems to happen, like, especially with tasks in other languages.
Interesting. So it's fluent in English medical textbooks, but like struggles with translation.
It's a little more than that. See, the researchers, they tested O in a bunch of different situations, and one of them was with a, get this, Chinese medical chatbot.
How did that go? Did it try to prescribe like chicken noodle soup for a broken bone?
Not quite, but let's just say there were some interesting diagnoses, showing O1 needs some more practice navigating all the little things in different languages, like the cultures and medicine.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, language is so important in how we understand stuff and how we talk to each other, especially in medicine. Every single detail matters.
Okay, so maybe O1 isn't fluent in every language under the sun just yet.
Right.
But what about its actual, like, doctor skills? Was it just good at multiple choice, or can it really look at, like, a patient's information and understand it like a human doctor?
That's where it gets really interesting. Remember how we were saying, like, being a doctor, it's not just about, you know, memorizing textbooks. It's about getting the nuances of a patient's, like, whole situation, right?
Yeah.
Medical history, their symptoms, their life, and then connecting all those dots.
Like a puzzle, but the picture is always changing.
Exactly. And that's what, like, blew the researchers away about O1. It wasn't just spitting out facts. It was showing real, like, human-like reasoning to diagnose. Okay, give me an example. I got to see this in action.
Okay, so the research had this really cool Chinese medical case study. Picture this. A patient comes in, they've got a ton of symptoms going on, And O1 is given the task of analyzing their actual medical records. Not some, like, simplified thing, the real deal to make a diagnosis.
Wow. Talk about pressure.
Right. And get this, O1 not only figured out that the patient had gastric cancer just from the records, but it went a step further.
It did. What else could it even do at that point? We're talking medical AI here, not like miracle AI.
Well, based on what it analyzed, O1 suggested specific ways to treat the patient, even suggesting certain therapies that matched like what the best practices are now. It's like it went to med school and did a residency or something.
Hold on. This AI is going beyond just like, this is what we think you have to, here's how we should treat it. That's like a whole other level of medical know-how.
It is. And you want to know what's even wilder? Its predecessor. Same medical records. Totally misdiagnosed the case. Thought the patient had GERD, not cancer.
Whoa, okay. That's a huge difference. It really shows how advanced O1 is. So, okay, on the one hand, O1 seems to be telling us that AI can handle this complicated medical reasoning, but on the other, AI isn't taking over hospitals yet. There's got to be some downsides, right?
You're right to think that. There are definitely some challenges. One thing is the research found that while O1 is crazy smart, it's also kind of slow.
Slow. Like how slow I am to understand the new TikTok dance.
Kind of. We're talking long processing times here. Imagine waiting for O1 to make a diagnosis and it's slower than dial-up internet back in the day. Not a good luck when every second matters in an emergency room.
I mean, slow and steady wins the race. Might work for some things, but in medicine, come on,
Yeah.
every second matters there.
Oh, for sure. It's a big concern. And it's not just O1 needing to, like, speed up a little. The research actually brought up this other interesting thing.
Okay.
How do we even know if an AI is doing a good job in medicine? Like, how do we measure that? The stuff we use now might need to be looked at, especially with AI that can think like a doctor, not just, calculate stuff.
That's a good point. It's not just about getting the right answer in the end. It's like, how did it get there? Was the logic good? Did it think like a human doctor would?
Exactly. We don't just want the AI to, like, memorize the textbook and repeat it back to us, right?
Yeah.
We want it to learn, to change as it goes, just like human doctors. And that means being able to trust how it's thinking, using its insights in the real world, in hospitals and clinics.
Which takes us back to that big question from the beginning. Are we all going to have AI doctors soon? Everything we learned about O1 today, it seems like we're getting closer, but we're not quite there yet.
Yeah, it's not a simple yes or no. What O1 shows us is that AI, it's made a huge jump in what it can do for medicine. This isn't just hype. We're talking AI that can really think through these super complicated medical cases, look at your charts, even figure out some treatment options, all based on what it's learned.
I mean, it's crazy to think about. Forget looking up your symptoms online. This AI could actually be there working with your doctor to make better decisions about your health.
Absolutely. But like with any new tech, especially one this powerful, we got to be careful. O1 still has those limitations, the making stuff up, the speed, and we haven't even touched on all the ethical questions that come up.
Right, because in the end, this isn't just about algorithms and data. It's about people's lives. And that means having these conversations right now about ethics, who gets access to this, and if it's fair, alongside all the cool tech stuff.
I couldn't agree more. And those conversations, they need to happen yesterday because this tech is changing so fast.
It's so true. Speaking of changing, there's one more thing that really blew my mind. The research, they said that O1 actually gets better at doing medical stuff when you, like, give it a few examples first. Few shot learning, they call it.
It's like giving O1 its own little med school prep course, tailored to each patient so it can understand their specific needs better.
Exactly. So picture this. You walk into the doctor's office, and before you even say hi, the AI has already looked at your whole medical history. It's ready to help your doctor give you the very best diagnosis possible. Personalized medicine, right there.
It's exciting to think about, but it brings up another layer of things to consider. Data privacy. Who's watching that info? Who has access? No easy answers there, but definitely something to keep in mind as this all keeps changing.
For sure. The future of medicine is being shaped right now. And what we've learned about O1 today, it shows us that future could be amazing. But it's up to all of us to make sure everyone benefits.